I'm Jeanette Marais. I'm the Deputy CEO of the Momentum Metropolitan Group, and I'm also the CEO of Momentum Investments. Today it's my privilege and something that I'm very passionate about to talk about financial goals. Now, if you think about your financial plan, which is a long-term plan, you can never reach that plan unless you have some very specific goals. Goals are also quite unique from person to person. If you're single, your goals will be very different to someone who has a family. If you're young, your goals will be very different to someone who's a little bit older. So what is really important is that you sit down and that you identify for yourself what your own financial goals are from life. But maybe to give you a little bit of help, I would classify goals into three kinds. The first one is your very short-term goal, quite an important one, and that means that you have to have an emergency fund. Life happens to us. Emergency fund is normally kept in cash so that you have easy access to it, and it's normally about 3 months worth of salary so that you know that in the short term you're able to maintain yourself if something should happen. Your medium-term goals could be very different. It could be for someone with a family that you need to provide for your kids' education. If you're single, it could simply be that you want to plan to own a car or maybe for an expensive holiday overseas. And then, of course, the most important one, the one that people tend to kind of postpone a little bit because you always think that you have time, and that is your planning for retirement. That is the one goal that only you can achieve, but you need to start planning for it quite early, and you need to be quite disciplined about that goal. Now, once you've set your own goals for yourself, that becomes your plan. It also becomes a guideline that you can use for every single financial decision that you take from there on. Let's say you suddenly want to go and do some shopping. Does that influence your short-term goal? How will that influence one of your longer-term goals? So having goals actually help you to set criteria amongst or against which you can then measure every single financial decision that you take from there on. And if you think about it, if you don't have a goal, you're not going to end up anywhere. It's a little bit like those who don't have a plan will never reach that plan because there's no set of guidelines, there's nothing that you work towards. So start your financial journey with setting goals and then by sticking to them as far as you can.